today is going to be about the weekly astrology. I'm covering from our last one, which is actually from the 23rd. I also covered that the moon around the 24th will start to move through to Leo. So I covered until then, but we're going to cover, I always do a backtrack on the day of Monday and Tuesday, and we'll cover until the 30th. I will also give you a heads up around the 31st as well. I'm going to do this pretty straightforward this week. And in terms of your elemental healing, I am going to probably do them separately. If they are of interest, because they're based upon intuitive reading with the planet movement, but also the energies and the themes, then if you're a subscriber, please do let me know, because then I can continue to do them with the weekly astrology. They will be back next week because they're very beneficial, but I don't think a lot of people get to see them because of the algorithm, and that's why your support in terms of like, sharing and subscribing, should the work resonate with you, would be great. And those of you that are subscribed and do like the videos, thank you for your support. It's really hard to break through, and it's actually quite hard to be resilient. I'm a fairly resilient person. I don't want to go on about myself, but it does seem quite difficult. Especially when I have only recently started on another social media platform, and I don't even give it as much dedication as this one, just like little snippets, and I've already got like 350 or 60 followers in a couple of months, but only 1 month of really, less than a month actually, of thinking, okay, I'm going to dedicate more time to it. Previously it was like 1 or 2 posts maximum, probably even 1 or less a week, and so I'm just grateful for that. So it seems like it's really difficult if you don't have the following, or in terms of the subscribers, but we'll get there and we'll build a community. Now, how was the new moon for you? Please do let me know, because obviously a lot of us would have felt, I mentioned about 11 planets being in Taurus, but a lot of us would have felt new moon, new energy, probably more energy, depending how you're affected with the moon. For me, I must say I felt it quite intense. Normally, I feel new moons less intense than full moons. And yeah, the things that I feel with full moons, it was really quite intense. And when I was looking at the astrology, I was like, okay, the moon is in Taurus. It's not like Scorpio or Cancer. You might have felt during that week and the beginning of this week that you're still not in that high energy. And this week I'll tell you the challenges that we might have with our emotions, just because if you feel it, but if you don't, it's a new energy that we're moving through. But the energies of this week are going to be a bit back and forth, because there is a bit of emotional imbalancement if we don't watch our emotions. So yeah, if you're feeling a bit sort of, I'm not moved into the new, etc., analyze whether it's you not making a decision on something, or if it's to do with your emotions, where you're feeling like you're moving through, but suddenly you don't feel the new moon how you normally feel a new moon. It might have been due to Neptune, so don't worry too much about that. How are you feeling today? Because today is Monday the 22nd. When you see it, it'll be Monday, or it might be Tuesday, depending where you are in the world. When the live premiere goes up, I'll probably just head into Tuesday at my end. So on Monday, okay, and because energies are felt a day before, a day after the normal energies, if it's a full moon or a big planet shift, it can be a couple of days before, a couple of days after. Last week we mentioned, before I go into Monday, we mentioned about Jupiter entering Taurus. I've done shorts on those Jupiter entering Taurus. Check them out for your sun, mainly your rising. If you don't know your rising, then your sun sign. Check out your elemental readings, okay? Check out the modality readings, and also check out the energy healing theme, because that's still very relevant. I think it was up only a day or two ago. and hence I have not done a new one, but I will be doing a new one, possibly, if it's not with next week's astrology as per norm, I might do a new one in the meantime, but let's see, because your individual sign readings are coming up and I'm working on those. So Monday, the Sun forms a beneficial sextile with Mars in Leo. So Mars has moved out of Cancer into Leo. I mentioned that last week. Cancer, you'll be happy. The Sun sextile Mars is a high energy aspect and gives you energy to get results and go after it. It's an excellent day for work-related physical activities. You might notice that your assertive skills are quite high. And this gives you ability to defend yourself effectively, just in case you need to be on the defense. And don't waste the energy if you're feeling this, and use it to get things done. Now, I also want to mention the moon though, because some of us will feel this moon. The moon is in Cancer now, so it's moved out of Taurus, it's in Cancer. We are in, from the 21st of May, we moved into Gemini. So the Sun is in Gemini, we've moved out of Taurus. Gemini is mutable, okay? So that means there's transformation and there's movement and adaptability. It doesn't mean that all of us are going to adapt, but mutable really helps us transform and move and try and move with the direction we need to go if there's a change in our lives. I did mention that it will be very transformative, and I do believe that with the shift of the modalities. But also this week we have a grand fixed cross, which was on the 21st, so the day before Sunday, which is really where Scorpio, Taurus, Leo and Aquarius are in a cross. It's fixed. So you can imagine it's quite rigid. They mention that, for example, it's very good for surgeons during this time, but there's going to be a lot of tension and people will go at you. You know, it's the kind of energy where, I don't like to say it, but like negative energy, or people that, for example, are in crime, are likely to commit more crime, if you can see what I'm saying. So what I'm trying to say is, where you feel tension or people are coming in are quite tense, take a step back, because these energies, although it's the 21st, it can be felt for a week or so. So just be vigilant with that. Now, with the energies I'm going to discuss this week, you can change that, because the energies this week are kind of like, we need to stay focused on track. And I'm actually thinking, what am I calling this week? Because it's a bit of, I feel it's going to be a bit of back and forth, like a bit emotional high, a bit like, oh, I'm feeling great, I'm going after this. Who the F do they think they are? Like, I've been taking a lot, I've been so patient, but right now you need to step back, because this, and you go through 100 things that you've not been saying. So there's that kind of energy, but there is a lot of productivity that can happen this week. So Monday, like I said, we've got Sun sextile Mars in Leo. So hello, productivity. Your energy levels will be high and you can take advantage of it while it lasts. On that day as well, we've got Venus in Cancer, the moon in Cancer. So if you have a moon sign in Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, you might feel this quite heavy. I don't, but I do feel the difference between the productivity, but also being a bit, do you know when you feel there's some emotions there? So you might feel your emotions are quite high, and with Mars squaring Jupiter as well, avoid taking recklessly, acting recklessly, taking reckless actions, and try to think things out before you take more on board. Don't bite off more than you can chew. When we're feeling very productive and we've got these predictive energies, especially Jupiter and expansion, we can sometimes take off more than we can chew. It's a very high octane energy this week. And with, like I said, the moon in Cancer, you might experience emotions and what is happening around you, you might feel it more intense. which might mean that you're more prone to react and to be in your emotions. And if you are, use your emotions as strength and maybe just take a step back. This is why I do the astrology of the week, actually. It's not because I enjoy astrology. I prefer coaching, tarot. I prefer the energy healing. I prefer coaching my clients. I prefer giving them readings. I prefer the energy healing and channeling, intuitive readings. The energy healing is on different forms: shamanic healing, chakra blocking, and clearing. So, but the astrology really does give us a theme and helps us navigate. And also, I like to keep it simple. So, you know, a lot of it, sometimes I might say a degree, but I give you what you might feel more than, okay, if you have your sun in, for example, Leo at between 2 degrees and 29 degrees, then you will feel this like this. No, you can take it and you are empowered. I don't believe in codependency. I did a video and I'm going to post it on discernment, but I was a bit emotional from what I'd seen on a different platform and even happening on this platform. No disrespect to anyone, but really use your discernment when you're following people. And I've been there where I've followed and been sort of obsessive over something because I've needed guidance and I felt that I've needed signs where I've not trusted myself. This is a few years ago, so quite a bit ago. And there's a lot of people that take advantage of that. Like, for example, if you're following someone that's posting your sun sign every, I don't know, 3 times a day, a reading, and you're like, oh, I need to see this, I'm seeing this, I'm seeing that, and seeing that. There's nothing wrong with it, but just check in with yourself. Don't lose on if this resonates or it doesn't resonate. Also, in terms of resonating, sometimes there's some elements of future predictions. So I always start my readings off, if I'm not channeling and going in really strong with just blah, 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 blah from what is coming through, I'll mention take what resonates, but check your sun, moon, rising, Venus sign, because sometimes your Saturn sign, or where a certain sign sits in a certain house. For example, if you're a Sagittarius and your focus is career, you might check Capricorn where it sits. It's your 2nd house. You might check readings that are relevant to that. That might resonate more. You might see a reading and you'd be like, okay, kind of resonates. And then you come back to it after a week and you're like, spot on. Or I took something more from it. So always revisit them, because the intention is timeless, or the intention is the period that I mentioned as well. So let's get back to astrology. That's why I started doing the weekly astrology from when I started the channel at the end of October, beginning of November 2022. And then slowly I've started posting more and more content. Over, I think from January, I started posting more and more content. So in terms of that, just really check in with yourself what the theme and even the elemental energy themes and healing really should speak to you. And that's why I also mentioned, for example, the signs that are quite heavy in the energies. Like this week it will be Leo, Taurus, again Pisces, and also you might feel a bit of Cancer, like I said, because of the moon moving through Cancer and Venus in Cancer. And also the fixed energies, Taurus, Virgo, Taurus, why did I say Virgo? I think it's because I know Virgo is going to be, the moon is going to be moving to Virgo as we wrap the week up. But Taurus, Scorpio, Leo and Aquarius, fixed signs. And you might decide to check those elements because they might relate to you more. But there is those energy healing posts that I do are really even spiritual coaching that you get for free. It's inner child work, it's spiritual coaching, it's healing, and you're getting it for free. So it's really good. Check out, even you can check out past ones, okay, because we're always growing. Doesn't mean that every week we have suddenly healed that part of us. So yeah, that's what I do with the weekly astrology. So we're going to get back into it. Tuesday the 23rd, the moon is still in Cancer. So watch your emotions, but there should be still a level of productivity that you're feeling. Those of us that don't really feel into our emotions much are probably going to feel this week as a high vibing, productive week. Okay. As we move into midweek, and on Wednesday, the 24th, the moon moves into Leo. This also means that Mars is in Leo. Okay. So by Wednesday, we've got the moon in Leo, which is an intense aspect with Mars in Leo and a challenging aspect with Jupiter in Taurus. You might face minor opposition with others on Wednesday morning, depending where you are. If you're, in the US, then it's likely to be Wednesday morning. If you're more towards the UK, probably midday. If you're in the sort of Middle East, Asia, then towards the evening end or the end of the day. And if you're in Australia, it'll be very late night moving into the morning, probably when you're sleeping, so you don't even have to face it. The energy from the beginning of the week should continue to flow, productivity. There'll be less into your emotions, but with Leo, you're going to get a boost of confidence on Wednesday, and you're going to get things done. Like I said, very productive. And this is why I say stay on track, because you've got the elements of the emotions and triggers that are sending you off track. And the Wednesday, sort of the midweek, and Thursday is really about, you might face a lack of patience, maybe triggered by people. Just take a step back and see whether it needs a trigger, whether you can take a step back. You might feel triggered outside your norm and lack patience, like I mentioned. You might get tempted to get distracted by the emotional reaction. Usually those emotional reactions are the small energies that distract us and take our energy, and we need to just kind of navigate that and maybe focus on the bigger picture if you can. Sometimes those little niggles need an answer straight away. Just think about it before you dive in with the reaction. And Thursday is the same. Moon is in Leo, productive, but the same sort of aspects that I've just mentioned. There's also then by the Thursday, moving into the weekend, we've got the moon, just before the weekend though, the moon begins to square destructive Uranus, all right? So be prepared for small hiccups, possibly in the late Thursday and Friday. Okay, that's just because Uranus comes into play on those days. Saturday, the moon moves into Virgo. So with Virgo, it's a positive aspect with Mercury in Taurus, earth signs, and a positive aspect with Jupiter in Taurus, earth signs. As you can see, earth is very heavy this week. So when we do the elemental reading, intuitive theme and readings, I always recommend, possibly like this week, Taurus, tap into Taurus. I might also recommend a fire sign, because there's Mars in Leo and there's a lot of moon energy in Leo and other aspects. Cancer, because we've got Venus in Cancer, we've got Saturn in Pisces, so possibly water as well. Air is quiet this week, okay, but not next week. So by the weekend, we'll be feeling like the Virgo moon, positive aspect with Taurus and Mercury, a boost in communication because we're in Gemini season. You're probably going to have great judgment and discernment during this time. You're going to have a good mood because Jupiter's in play as well. So feeling a better mood than early in the week where it's been a bit challenging. The moon is a bit more stable. Good luck, positive aspect with Venus, which means that it might be a good day to communicate romance, go on a date, even just, it doesn't even have to be a romantic date. You could go out with your mates and or your friends, so that I keep it universal words, and really, especially close friends, right? So because you'll feel that sapiosocial, Gemini's there, Venus is there, you feel a connection, building relationships, which is it should be a good energy. And Sunday, Virgo, the moon is still in Virgo, very much similar. We've also got Venus sextiling Uranus on Saturday, moving into Sunday over the weekend basically, which is a perfect weekend to break free from your usual routine and do something difficult that you enjoy. All right. Sunday, as we head into Sunday, this is going to be later Sunday for some of you early Sunday. We've got the moon still in Virgo, like I said, but the sun squares depressing Saturn. I think I've just given a word of a hint. You may feel restricted and you may feel bound to your duties and obligations. So although Friday and Saturday you might feel like it's a good day to break away from your routine, face something difficult but enjoyable, by Sunday you might feel restricted and bound to do duties and obligations just because Saturn is that kind of energy. But I don't think it's going to be a heavy energy, so only if you feel it. And then on Monday, we've got the moon moves into Libra. So as you can see, air signs, you will probably feel the smoothest this week. Fire signs, you're probably going to feel a bit triggered at certain times. Water signs, you might feel like you're in emotions at the beginning of the week. Stability comes towards the end of the week. We're very much in earth sort of energies as well, which could also mean a bit of stubbornness. If you've got a lot of earth placements, especially in Taurus. And with the moon moving in Libra on Monday, which I will do a short on Monday, and also the new weekly astrology for Monday, it's really about connecting relationships, social growth, social communication, going out with your friends. And air signs will feel Monday the most if you've got moon in an air sign: Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. That's if you're sensitive to moon movements. Usually you probably won't feel this so much, okay? But we'll have the moon in an air sign, Libra, and we'll have the sun in Gemini. So a lot of air energy. And then by the 31st of 30th, it will continue to move through. 31st of May, which is going to be Wednesday, you've got the waxing gibbous into Scorpio, which becomes a bit more intense. It's deep, it's transformative. I will go through the other planets that are movements and even asteroids next week as well. So that's just like a little heads up in terms of Monday and Tuesday going into Wednesday, but there'll be a new Astro out by then. I did want to mention one other thing. In June, we have retrogrades happening. So I will be discussing that. Saturn and Venus will be going retrograde, I believe. I need to check that. And also don't forget Pluto, which I've mentioned in my astrology, is going back and forth from retrograde. It'll come out of retrograde, but it'll go into Capricorn. I mentioned this in last week and the weeks before astrology. So you can see how the astrology moves through each week, and it's good to just tap in because you can see, oh, that one's still flowing in energy into this week, etc. So other than that, I hope you enjoyed this Astro update. I hope we have a lovely week. Let me know in the comments how you've been feeling with Monday. Let me know as your week goes by how you're feeling, if you felt any movement. And by the end of the week, how the week's gone, because I hope we all have an amazing week. Look out for your individual readings that are coming up now. I have a few more to do because, as you know, I don't record in advance the readings because, like, I don't record many in advance because I think I'm a big one on energy. I think it really impacts us. So having said that, I would love for you to like, subscribe, and if you want a personalized reading or any of my services, my email's in the description box below. Should you wish to support the channel, the PayPal link is in the description box below. And also my coaching website is currently under construction. I had an issue with someone who was working on the website who took longer than needed, and I just happened to ask, so when is the new delivery date? And I think probably because they're frightened of their review. I don't know, there's an issue there, so I need to get that sorted. But I was getting it revamped, and basically it's still currently under revamping. So good luck to me in that, and good luck to us all during this week. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you in your readings in the next videos. Bye for now.